There's been a lot of weird cars to come out in the past couple weeks, months, years, decades, but this one might be the weirdest one of them all, and I don't think it's particularly close. This thing here, this has come out for 2024, and it's called the Tesla Cybertruck. I've been driving it, living with.
Yeah, no logo on it, no nothing.
This is.
Yeah, we really live in the future. Like, look at that. There's no logo on it, no nothing. Like, this look like some futuristic shit.
For 2024, and it's called.
You know what I mean? It look like you just blend it into the sky with it. Look like you just take off. You know, this look like a flying truck.
Tesla Cybertruck. I've been driving it, living with it for almost 1,000 miles for a couple of weeks now, so you don't have to. God, I will say this vehicle is characterized by these really big highs and lows. Really big, sweeping, exciting, really interesting things about it, and then lows on the other side that are like really disappointing about it, that you only really find by actually living with it.
Yeah, just like some real, like futuristic shit. Like, I don't even know what to say.
Which I have been, so that's what this video is. I'm just gonna detail everything, break it down, try not to get hurt by them. They tend to interrupt these videos, but that's okay. This is the Cybertruck. Now it feels like there's only one place to start with the truck, which is how it looks, right? This thing, I have a lot more to say about it and maybe a main channel full review, but I think it...
From the side, it don't look that big though. Like, just on camera, period. Like, it don't even look that big. But from the side, like, it really looks small. And they be talking about, oh, apparently you can camp in it and all this. Like, I be hearing rumors and stuff like. They got that one big ass windshield up there. We got that big ass windshield wiper.
It's kind of iconic, meaning you either love this or you hate it. And in person, it looks even more cyberpunk, like low poly render than maybe anything on video quite shows. And I'll dig more into the materials and the build quality and panel gaps in just a second, but there's something you should know about living with the Cybertruck, which is that the truck itself is a bit of a celebrity. At least at this moment.
I ain't no celebrity. Nah, what? Little whack, you know what I mean? Like, don't even look cool from the outside. Shit look plain.
Especially if you're in a place where there aren't really any others yet. You cannot drive this without getting attention at all. It's the most attention-getting vehicle by a long way that I've ever gotten. You drive this thing, people walking past turn around, people driving by literally accelerate to try to get a better video out their side window of you driving by. It's actually kind of dangerous. Like, the way that people behave on the road when they see a Cybertruck and want to go get a video of it is crazy. That's all by itself. This truck also has Sentry mode. You probably already know about Teslas, where you walk up to the truck and it knows.
I doubt it though. I doubt people looking at it like that. That's in my opinion though. You know what I'm saying? I really don't watch videos. Learned about it, did my research. Maybe I need to do my research to become interested in it, but what I heard so far, like, outside of it, no.
And it turns on the recording from the cameras. This truck has hundreds of video clips of people walking up to it and looking inside and just generally interrupting it and draining the battery during the day. It's that popular. So I feel like it's...
See, that's number one problem right there. Draining the battery just from just taking random videos. Like, what? Nah. It basically forces you to have to, like, keep driving the car because it's going to keep killing the battery. It's going to keep forcing you to have to get it jump started or whatever. Or getting it recharged, like, down. Like, nah, man. That features, that's automatic turn off right there.
Polarizing enough that people either love it or hate it. In real life, I kind of like it. It's really hard to explain why. I think it looks sick in person. It's also dirty. Don't get me started. The roads in New Jersey suck. They're flying away. It's okay. But generally, yeah, this is a It's a very unique looking truck. But the thing about these looks is I think it actually distracts people from a lot of really interesting technical innovation that goes on under the hood. I mean, everyone wants to talk about the looks, understandably, but the 800-volt architecture, this crazy suspension with a ton of travel, like there's more.
Even the windows too,
happening
like,
with this truck
look so ass. Like,
that I'll get into in a second. But let's just start with the basics. What is it, right? There's basically two Cybertruck specs you can get right now, two different versions. The dual motor or the triple motor, the Cyber Beast. So this is the Foundation Edition Cybertruck. Foundation
oh, you
series,
see? Can't even see it. Like, I have to go up close.
So this is the Foundation.
That's really,
Edition
really futuristic.
Cybertruck.
Yeah, I love that feature right there. What else does it say on it that you can't see?
Series, which means it's one of the first ones. It's a low VIN number, but this is the dual motor version. The triple motor version is basically the exact same truck, but faster because it has an extra motor in the back and it has Alcantara in the dash. That's basically the only difference. But let's get into the technical stuff. First of all, that's basically the only difference. But let's get into the technical stuff. First of all, they ship to owners without that hubcap. Remember the aero cap that we see in all those early Cybertrucks, especially when they show all that promo material? That's not on this truck. So you do have just the open wheel when you get your Cybertruck. They're redesigning.
It almost looks like, you know, like the wheel is designed for like in them tight spaces where you can grip onto the sides and shit. You know what I mean? You basically you like climb up hills and shit just with the side of the wheels. Like it's that side right there. It's crazy. You got grip.
The aero cover that you'll eventually allegedly get, which means this. You see the open wheel, you see the brakes, but you also just have like no hubcaps and no nut covers, and
you also have a lot of rust. You know, just this is dirty as fuck.
That's the only place I've seen.
Why he didn't, bro? This guy rich as fuck. This is MKBHD. Why ain't go get a new one, bro? Like, or just go rent one. Like, let nigga bring the broke ass shit with the rusty ass shit. Like, nigga want to look at the Cybertruck. We want to see like, some clean shit, some fly shit. Dirty ass, rusty ass shit. I know they ain't gonna say that's the paint job. There's no way that's the paint job. It's nasty.
Rust on this truck. A little bit worrying, but
what's he saying about it? A little bit worrying. Come on, man.
Seen rust on this truck. A little bit worrying.
What the homie said? Hold on.
You see the open wheel, you see the brakes, but you also just have like no hubcaps and no nut covers, and that's the only place I've seen rust on this truck. A little bit worrying, but that's the way it is right now. You can get third-party covers if you want, but that's the place I see rust on this truck.
Yo, what's up? Why you don't have no hubcap on it? What? Safety? Dangerous? What you gonna say? What's the reason? Plus, I expected this guy was reviewing this shit. I wouldn't call it a review, but this more so just like living with it, but I expect him to explain like why it ain't got no hubcap.
And then the thing about a low VIN Tesla is you will be dealing with low VIN production quality stuff. Only reason I say that is because I'm the guy who doesn't really care about panel gaps too much, and I still really don't pay too much attention to it. But this panel gap is actually worth mentioning. It's the worst I've ever seen in a production vehicle. I'll just show it to you. This is the driver's side door. There's no door handles, as you can tell. The way to get into the truck is that little handle, and it pushes it out, and then you pull the truck out the rest of the way. That's why there's fingerprints all over this truck. But
kind of uncomfortable looking thing is that? Like, it looks so uncomfortable to be able to open the door.
The truck is...
This is my first time seeing a Cybertruck review too.
And then you pull the truck out the rest of the way. That's why there's fingerprints all over this truck. But I don't know. I think there's going to be something wrong with this door because it literally looks like it's open.
Like it's closed too. It looks like it's open.
That's pretty bad. So I've never seen a gap quite that bad. That's the way it should look. that's the way it looks. It's probably one of those things where I'll have to bring it into Tesla, they'll tighten some things up and it'll look fine, but that's the stuff you will probably have to deal with if you get a low-VIN Cybertruck. But then, of course, you know, you're looking at the materials, you're looking at these angles,
looks like it's fixed
all
up
the
now,
sharpness up here. We've covered I've talked about this before. This is not a surprise, but you have this big LED light bar on the front, which is pretty iconic when it pulls up behind you, and then all of the actual headlights are down here. And so that's where all the actual bright light comes from. You also got your front-facing camera on a Tesla for the first time with a washer. Sick. And then this huge sloping windshield. Some might even call it the largest sloping windshield.
Look how it quickly showed the windshield because it don't look
windshield.
Look at it. Like, that's so, like, come on.
With a washer. Sick.
Maybe on the inside it'll make that. Maybe if I look on the inside of it, it'll probably make the outside of it look even better.
Sloping windshield.
More attractive.
Some might even call it the largest sloping windshield on any vehicle ever. Which brings us to the windshield wiper. This is the largest windshield wiper on any production car, and you've seen people do this before, but it's just massive. It's just big blade. It's pretty expensive to replace. But it seems to work fine.
Ain't no $15 yet, $15, $20 little motherfucker. How much y'all think y'all guess? We only guess, right? Alright. I say it's like probably like gotta be at least like 75, 85. That's what I'm thinking. Let me know if it's too low. Let me know in the comments.
The one weird thing about it is it doesn't actually go all the way down to the bottom of the glass on the windshield. This actually pivots over to a couple inches above the bottom. So when it's wiping, there's just a bunch of rain and water at the bottom that still continues to roll up the windshield.
What's wrong with these people? Talking about this the future. But it still got past mistakes from other cars on this same truck. It still got past mistakes from other vehicles on this truck right here. What's wrong with these people? Do they want us to waste our money, man? Or what? Do we have to go buy another one or get it modified to where it can stretch all the way to the end, man? Come on, man. It's bush.
Even while you've cleared the windshield, it's kind of a weird California quirk where they design cars that aren't as good in rain as you would expect. Either way, I'll just finish.
It goes on the other side. It goes all the way to the end, though. So why is it not going all the way to the edge? I mean, on this side right here to the left, it goes all the way to the edge, but down there at the bottom, it doesn't go all the way to the edge. Even the view too, like, doesn't even look cool. Don't even look nice.
California quirk where they design cars that you've cleared the windshield. It's kind of a weird California quirk where they design cars that aren't as good in rain as you would expect. Either way, I'll just finish my way around the outside of the truck. It's a pretty big truck, as you already know. It's full size, especially from like this rear 3/4 angle. It just has these big shoulders. It kind of looks like a dump truck in a way. Maybe that's not the best way to describe it, but that's what it reminds me of. Either way, big glass sunroof, and then you've got this huge truck bed, which has the lockable tonneau cover, which they call a vault. And when that comes up, it closes that rear window.
Ooh,
and
that's
comes
a
all
window?
the way back.
How?
Closes the lockable tonneau cover, which they call a vault. And when that
more like a storage place or like a boot
comes up, it closes that rear window and comes all the way back to the front. Then you can open the tailgate. So there's lights in the tailgate. There's even hidden storage right here. There's no room for a spare, so this is a truck where if you want to carry a spare, that's going to take up room in the actual truck. But, you know, you can have your charging equipment down here, maybe have some groceries down here. A little sub-trunk space never hurt anybody. And I definitely want to mention you have these outlets over here. So you have the two 120s, but you also have a 200.
Damn. They got a wall plug in it, so you could really live out of it. Well, I'm not sure, is that a wall plug or is that just what you connect the charger to? That gotta be a wall plug. This guy said it's an outlet.
You can have your charging equipment down here, maybe have some groceries down here, a little sub-trunk space, never hurt anybody. And I definitely want to mention you have these outlets over here. So you have the two 120s, but you also have a 240 volt, which you can literally use to charge other vehicles. You can charge another Tesla, you can charge a Rivian, whatever, just with the mobile connector by plugging it in here and plugging it into the other vehicle, which is pretty sweet. But this is also a good time to talk about the battery of the Cybertruck. It's a big battery physically, but it's not the best range I've ever seen.
123 kilowatts. What was that? 123 kilowatts. Oh, kWh. Let me search that up. 123 kWh.
So this dual motor Cybertruck is going to get on a full 100% charge up to like 320 miles indicated. You can actually drive more like 290. And the triple motor, which I've been recently living with, maxes out at 300 indicated, which is actually more like 265, 275. And it's also not the fastest charging Tesla we've seen either. You go to a regular Tesla supercharger.
What?
It's not the best range. Plug it into the other vehicle.
Kind of like if I was to fill up a full tank of petrol in one of my whips. Damn, I didn't even know it was like that. I don't know why I thought like when you charge it, it gives you less like mileage or less kilometers. Gives you about the same. That's why I see so many people getting like electric vehicles and stuff. Wow.
Which is pretty sweet. But this is also a good time to talk about the battery of the Cybertruck. It's a big battery physically, but it's not the best. 290. And the triple motor, which I've been recently living with, maxes out at 300 indicated, which is actually more like 265, 275. And it's also not the fastest charging Tesla we've seen either. You go to a regular Tesla supercharger and you don't max out at quite the same charge curve speeds for a long time as like a Model 3 or a Model S would. So it's really not the ideal long-term road tripper.
Open frunk. You got a frunk? A trunk in the front, yeah, a frunk. That don't even sound cool. Well, I don't call it a frunk. Just call it a trunk. Even though it's at the front, just say it's a trunk. That don't sound cool. You know what I mean?
So it's really not the ideal long-term road tripper. That said, there are several accessories.
How isn't it like the ideal long-term road tripper? What? Look how far it can go. And I heard it was pretty fast too.
So it's really not the ideal long-term road tripper. That said, there are several accessories that are supposed to be also coming to the Cybertruck. And this is one of those low points of the Cybertruck, which is it's so early that they don't exist yet and I don't know when they will. But one of them is the extended battery that goes in the back of this thing that brings it up to allegedly 500 miles. Huge, several thousand pounds, plugs into the truck, takes up space in the truck bed. I don't know if or when that's coming, but it exists on their website. The other is the light bar on the top. It's also, who knows when it's coming, there's no info about it. I saw one at Tesla's factory, but no indication of when that's going to come, even though
light bar illuminates your path up to 525 yards. That's more than 5 football fields. Installation required. Wow.
Info about it. I saw one at Tesla's factory, but no indication of when that's going to come, even though I ordered one and I have a truck that doesn't have it. So, the last thing that's not shipping with
something like bad, like what the fuck, I'm blind a motherfucker like that.
Cybertruck yet is autopilot. So it has all these sensors, it has all these cameras all the way around the truck, but the autopilot or full self-driving that you're used to in other Model S and Model 3 and Model Y and Model X doesn't work. All that this has is traffic-aware cruise control. So you still steer, but it will do following the car in front of you and keeping its distance, variable speed. That's it. Doesn't work.
What's the settings for it, Joe?
Is traffic-aware cruise control. So you still steer, but it will do following the car in front of you and keeping its distance, variable speed. That's it. You paid for autopilot, you don't get it. You paid for that battery, doesn't exist yet. You paid for the light on top. It's not there. But let me show you what is here because I have noticed some new stuff.
Like so many other things in life, like like you pay for this, then you gotta pay for that, then you gotta pay for that, and there's hidden costs and there's hidden fees as they call it. And I was saying, like, it's not stuff, man.
And by the way, I said this in the impressions video. I said that this would happen, and here are all your fingerprints from getting into the Cybertruck. But let's look at the interior real quick. This is your
look how dirty
Cybertruck,
it gets it, like damn.
I said that this would happen. And here are all your fingerprints from getting into the Cybertruck. But
they don't look like that on normal cars. Why it look like that on that? Why? Because it's silver and the material of it.
Let's look at the interior real quick. This is your steering wheel. So the Cybertruck is in every...
Did he zoom it out 0.5 as he came in? He should have kept it
I
at
said
like
that
1.
this would happen. And here are all your fingerprints from getting
out.
into the Cybertruck. But let's look at the interior real quick. This is your...
You see,
steering wheel.
out.
So the Cybertruck
is quality. Quality is not like how it is right now.
That sounds bad. The Cybertruck is in every possible way a Tesla steering wheel. So the Cybertruck is in every...
Yeah,
that sounds bad. The Cybertruck is in every possible way a Tesla on the inside. It's very, very minimal. And to me, maybe even too minimal, just because this is supposed to feel a little bit more of a special vehicle.
Exactly. It's supposed to be like camper vibes. It's supposed to have camper vibes when you're in there.
It's just the normal key fob. But this is the first Tesla ever with a power opening front trunk. It would be nice to have a button to open it or just kind of like a cool cyber fob. But cost. Gotta save cost. Same thing here. It's everything on one screen. And to give them credit, it's an awesome screen. It's a huge display. I think it's 15 inches diagonally. It's got all this compute. It's really smooth. Everything you ask it to do, it usually does it pretty dang smoothly. So even though there is no CarPlay, there is no Android Auto, this is the best computer I've ever used in a car. All the UI, pretty intuitive. I think some people find this menu a little bit intimidating because there's a lot visually going on here, but once you get used to it, you kind of know by muscle memory where to get to things. I just wish there was climate control buttons like I always do in a car. You have to go into the menus here and then sort of move this stuff around. This is all very Tesla, right?
That's not convenient.
But you've got this storage space in the middle.
I wanted to just quick, you know what I'm saying? Quick, up. At least if I want to be doing it on a screen, or at least like, where's the switch? You gotta have a switch on it. Bah.
2 wireless chargers that work great. 2 cup holders, and then storage in the center here. And that actually goes down even further. And then some pretty comfortable seats, I'd say. They're heated and ventilated.
You should have showed us
But I think what you really care about from the driver's seat
how further down
is the
it goes.
steering. So one of the highs of the Cybertruck is it has this incredible steering, which is enabled by basically 3 main things. A combination of the things. 1, steer by wire. 2, a variable steering ratio. And 3, rear wheel steering. Okay, so all of these things put together make this the most nimble feeling truck, especially at low speeds, I think ever made. Okay, so this is the steering wheel or squircle you're dealing with. It's kind of small, but it does have your blinker buttons that are physical buttons that actually click instead of just haptics. You got your
Yeah. I didn't even think that's what that was. I thought that was like to do with like music and stuff.
or squircle you're dealing with. It's kind of small, but it does have your blinker buttons that are physical buttons that actually click instead of just haptics. You've got your headlights there, a real horn, thankfully, and your autopilot button, which again just does adaptive cruise control, and your... Jeez.
Are those one of the horns, like, you know how you can change the horn to like customize it? I mean, is it like that? I don't know.
It's your giant windshield wiper right there, and voice controls. Okay, so we know what this looks like. First thing that's crazy about this is full lock. It's not this like hand over hand thing to get the truck to fully steer. That is turning all the way right, and that is turning all the way left.
No.
So this is the most one-handable driving vehicle probably ever of this size.
Is that good? I don't even know. I'm confused. I'm thinking like, maybe I have to drive it to know if it's good, but I'm looking at it thinking like, bro, they don't even look good. In fact, they don't even look safe. Could be wrong though.
Variable steering ratio, all that really means is at low speeds.
Like, what is it like? Is that
turning
even
the
good for the wrist? I thought it's good to get that and because you know you get that stretch. It's like, you know, you get a little stretch in. You know?
Steer by wire is this crazy thing. It sounds insane because the wheel's not physically connected to the actual wheels and tires. It's all just a computer and might as well be a video game controller. But what it's actually doing on top of all that is it's changing the amount that it's steering based on how fast you're going.
And the back wheels are moving at the same time.
Controller. But what it's actually doing on top of all that is it's changing the amount that it's steering based on how fast you're going. So at low speeds, really, really quick and nimble. And at high speeds, it softens up a little bit and it's not quite so bad.
I got an all-wheel drive. I don't know if my wheels do that too, but do they? I'm pretty sure. I think they do. I could be wrong though. Or if they don't, at least the brakes work for all of them type shit. I mean, let me do my research though. I got like a Ford Territory. I want to check. I want to see.
You get used to it very quickly. And then, like I said, the last component is the rear wheels turn more than any other vehicle, again, that I've ever tried.
See, this guy did any other vehicle, so I'm pretty sure my one is like that too. Gotta be.
10 degrees right now in either direction. And so when you're turning around quickly in a small parking lot, it's incredibly impressive how quickly you can get into parking spots and turn in and out of things. And at highway speeds, it actually changes the rear wheel direction in the same way as the front wheels. So you're kind of gliding from lane to lane. Like I said, it all gets put together into
That's what I was
really
thinking,
nice.
because at high speeds it has to do something like that. How can you at high speeds just quickly just and have it safely turn? Right, that's what I was thinking. This guy answered my question without even me asking.
Package of very nimble, impressive handling. It's not a sports car by any means, but it's really nimble for a full-size truck. It's actually gotten to the point where I
keep hearing this guy say nimble. What's nimble mean? You gotta talk about. I keep saying nimble. It's really nimble. It's really nimble. Nimble, quick and light in movement, moving with ease. Hey, that's smooth. I was start using laughing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga just did some activities. Like, how was it? Nah, it was nimble. You know what I'm saying? It was nimble. I ain't gonna lie, it was nimble. I ain't gonna lie, that shit was nimble as fuck.
I recently drove an F-150 Lightning, and I felt like I was doing a whole bunch of extra movement to get the truck to do the same amount of turning. Even though the F-150 Lightning is decently nimble, it's like, whoa, all this extra movement. This makes it feel like I should just be able to do this with every truck. That's full lock. That's crazy. But okay, let me just hit you with a couple other build quality things from the
listen to that sound it makes when it's turning. Like, that sounds
all this extra movement. This makes it feel like I should just be able to do this with every truck. That's full lock. That's crazy. But okay, let me just hit you with a couple other...
No way. No car, no vehicle is supposed to sound like that, even if you're in one spot. Even if he's on Ross, and I don't even think he's on Ross, he's on the road.
Build quality things from this front seat before we get to the back. First of all, this rear view mirror, maybe the dinkiest rear view mirror you'll ever see in a car this size. It's also borderline useless because you don't actually see out the back of the truck when the tonneau cover is closed. Instead, you have to deal with a screen rear view mirror here. This is classic Tesla. Tesla wants to save money. We all know that this should have been a screen to have your rear view mirror show up here from the camera feed. But instead they put the camera feed on the screen because another screen means more cost. And they don't want more cost. It's annoying, but you have to remap your brain to check there instead of there.
Why? Why would you move the mirrors? That's foolish. Y'all tripping. Just to what? To save money? Y'all rich. Y'all the latest brand out here, man. Y'all a Tesla. Now you trying to save money. Y'all ain't broke. But this behavior right here, this that broke ass. It's that broke mentality, that cheap thing.
Either way,
cheapskate.
You also have this gigantic, expansive windshield, and the weird angle thing kind of plays tricks on you because you feel like you can't see over the hood, but that corner basically is the hood, so you have a little visibility there, and then basically
that's weird. Look how like you see, he's like a little edge right there. On those sides, like you look to the left, like nah, that don't even look cool.
Right there where it drops off, so it's
like,
just
like it gets in the way of your vision.
Huge window and then cliff, and then at the top of this cliff here is your sunshades, which are pretty big, but they're these like half sunshades again to stay out of the way. So the roof over your head, and this half sunshade thing, and then just like the Fisker, actually, tiny mirrors on each of these.
Yeah,
but, it does actually flip out just like that.
Stop trying to save money, yeah.
So there you go.
Stop trying to save money.
Big mirror things. And then you have your light here, so you can pop that open. I said open. You can pop that on or off. And then the last thing I want to talk about is these speakers, which are actually incredible. This is one of the highlights, back to the highlights of the Cybertruck. Best sound system I've ever heard in a truck. Top.
You see that? How you know when there's so many like disadvantages of something, there's so many like cons, there's so many negatives to something. Where when there is something positive, you're really excited about it. You're like, you know, oh, but these are the highlights. Like you gotta really, oh, you gotta really focus in on it because it's just to make up for like all the negatives, make up for all the bad things. All the things that need improvement.
5 sound systems I've ever heard in a vehicle. And I think the subwoofers are at the front. It really sounds like the thump and how they're really good subwoofers, but I think
I could feel it through the headphones.
Both at the front, possibly in the doors, that end up sounding incredible. I want to verify that because there's a lot of other speakers in the vehicle, from one here to there to there to there, but bro, it sounds amazing in here. But let's do the back seat because this is actually a pretty comfortable back seat experience. And I've kind of in my head a little bit, I'm comparing it.
Oh no way, the windows like that. Isn't it bulletproof? Why the windows like that? Wouldn't it have like a guard around it, like a plastic guard, like no plastic, like, you know what I mean? The metal guard around it. It's bulletproof, right? Or is like, do you have to get it bulletproof? Not all of them are bulletproof. I'm pretty sure all of them are bulletproof because when people are making them videos, I haven't seen one yet. I want to react to one soon. But when people are making them videos, shooting at them bulletproof duster trucks, they never be like, you know what I mean? Like they always just say, "Oh, shooting at a Cybertruck." They never be like shooting at a bulletproof Cybertruck. So I'll assume like all Cybertrucks are bulletproof because I didn't see no like titles that say, "Oh, bulletproof Tesla truck." Like them Escalades and stuff. You know, people be like, "Oh, bulletproof Escalade." You don't hear it with this. You always just hear Cybertruck.
And Cybertruck. Kind of in my head a little bit, I'm comparing it to other full-size trucks like the F-150 Lightning, but also like the Rivian R1T, for example, which is a bit smaller. This is a really good back seat. So again, one of my favorite tricks with this back seat row is you've got 3 across, and if you pop this up, you can just raise up those 2 back seats and get even more storage. I have these like floor mats in here, but that amount of storage very quickly is super convenient, and I like that a lot about it.
Storage? Thought you was gonna say like you put the seat all the way back and you can sleep on the front seat. You know, because most cars you can't really do that. Most cars you can't really just lift off the seat. Back seats, lift it up. You can fold the part where you put your back. Yeah, you can fold that in. Then even when you do that, like you can't put the front seats all the way back. So I thought to do with that. Or can you? Let me see. We'll see. Hopefully you can. That'll be real nice. You can actually sleep in there.
And then you get in, and I'm behind a 6'3" driving position here, and oh wow, it's a good amount of legroom. You have that little pocket right there. You have a larger display at the back here, so for all your HVAC controls and media. I would never use that because
big ass screen, that's like a TV. You can watch a movie back there.
For all your HVAC controls and media, I would never use that because watching a movie down by your knee is just weird to me. But you know,
Yeah,
you have
for
the
sure.
option if you
Should have
want
put it
it.
where the head is at. Where the front, the passenger in the front seat. Passenger at the driver's seat.
Just had to pause for a second. But I tell you. Anyway, like I said, it's a really good back seat. One more thing I couldn't figure out how to do quickly was put this little middle armrest down, but there's a little hook right here. You pull that, then you can put the middle armrest down. And you've got 2 cup holders and not really much else, but at least you have that for the middle passenger.
Yeah, hey, this truck giving robotic vibes. I swear, the way everything, just octagon, hectagon, whatever shape, all these, like, you know what I mean? Like, see that? Pentagons and stuff.
Holders and not really much else, but at least you have that for the middle passenger. If you want to give somebody a seat, there you go. These are comfortable seats. You know what's funny about this whole back seat thing is so many people are going to use the Cybertruck just like a large SUV. I'll talk about this more in the main channel full review, but SUV.
Is that the furthest the window can go in the back seat? I hate them cars, you know what I mean? Like, the windows, like, back seats, the SUVs and them trucks. Back seat, like, I mean, the back seat windows don't go down all the way. That's annoying. Especially when you're trying to get air out or you're trying to get some sort of smell out. Like, it's not convenient. Just get it out real quick.
About this more in the main channel full review, but this truck has very clear weaknesses like the other electric trucks.
But in terms of airflow, it's usually alright.
Things, off-roading, towing, for example, it's not very good at that stuff over long distances. But spoiler, 90-something% of people almost never use truck stuff with their trucks. They buy F-150s and they never tow anything or haul anything, or maybe once a year they do. And so this truck is actually amazing for that.
Yeah.
And if you made me road trip in any of these full-size electric trucks, I'd probably want to be in the back seat of this one, to be honest. This or the F-150 Lightning, but this still with the supercharger advantage, it's real. I'd rather be in this one. But hey, as long as we're talking about driving, I just want to mention the suspension on the Cybertruck is one of the most underrated things about it. It's a highlight, for sure. So it's got this air suspension with this massive amount of travel. This is right now one of the higher settings, and it looks pretty high, you can tell. But in sport mode, it lowers itself all the way down for maximum efficiency and aero, even though
it can lower itself. Dang. It seemed like it could. Like, when I look at it, it seemed like you can go down. No. It comes to, like, for being stealth, so you don't see the wheels in the distance. So it's just at nighttime, come in kind of like a turtle.
Of a refrigerator. But the point is, it can go lower and it can go even higher in its full maximum mode, which off-roading, it just looks silly and also super cool. There's like an extraction mode for if it's stuck in something, which yes, people have gotten it stuck in things, but it'll get even higher. There's like a foot total of travel with the air suspension. More impressive to me is the fact that it doesn't seem to body roll or yaw very much. So when you hit that accelerator in an F-150 Lightning, dude, the nose comes up, the whole thing rocks back and forth. This is surprisingly flat. Again, not a sports car. Don't get it twisted. It's not going to feel stable like something much lower to the ground. But I was expecting much more body roll out of this thing. Also, while we're at the front, let me just hit that front button. This is a weird button because you don't pull it, you like press in on this button, which is a little bit unusual, but that's a pretty small front trunk.
Yeah, that'll be weird.
That front button. This is a weird button because you don't pull it, you like press in on this button, which is a little bit unusual, but that's a pretty small front trunk, not gonna lie.
No remote? No remote? Gotta have a remote for that.
You can put groceries in here, it's pretty small. You can tailgate if you want to sit here. You are covered from the rain. There's also a lot of talk about how dangerous this front trunk might be, specifically at these pinch points over in the corners. Sounds like a test for the main channel, but I think the moral of the story is don't put your fingers near the pinch points while it's closing. Just
that's crazy how anytime somebody can just come up on your chest and drop you. open the front of it. Now you have to actually get out to go close it. Can you imagine that? Somebody trying to mess with you. You're scared to get out because who knows what they have. They might have something, like, you never know. They might have a weapon. Scared to get out. It's messed up, man. Innovation, huh? More like in consideration.
Trust me on this one. But okay, last highlight of the Cybertruck. Again, first Tesla with a power opening front trunk and with a camera on the front.
Alright, you can press a button to close it again, and they should have a remote to open and close it. Yeah, I have to get out the car. Then I was wrong. Then I was just talking shit.
But again, I'll just bring it back to the looks at the end of the day. This is one of those weirdly polarizing vehicles where most of your verdict on it is probably already dictated by how it looks.
Yep.
You love the way it looks, which, trust me, as you drive down the street, you realize a lot of people love it. Or if you hate the way it looks and you would never drive.
That's where the plates is at. It's crazy how towards the end they keep giving me more reasons to not like it. Like, come on. I thought all the reasons why I wouldn't like it was all gone. Like, it just keep getting worse, man. It just keep getting worse. I look where the lights.
Stainless steel refrigerator on wheels. It's got all kinds of bug marks and stuff all over it, as you've seen. I haven't had any rusting issues or any problems with it yet. I don't really clean trucks very often, but so far so good. But it is kind of hard to ignore how many other tech things are under the hood. The 800-volt architecture makes it surprisingly the lightest electric pickup truck among the Hummer EV and the Rivian and the F-150 Lightning. It obviously has a crazy suspension, which is really, really capable. The computers inside, all this stuff working for it. But look, it's all about what you think of the aesthetics. So let me know in the comments.
See, you didn't even bring up that is bulletproof once. I think that's a feature you have to install. Yeah, I don't know why my dumbass thought that. All of them were bulletproof. I'm like, damn, they just give it out. Basically, damn near free bulletproof cars. All you gotta do is just, you know, get this shit. They basically damn near giving out bulletproof vehicles. Just gotta go and get one, like, on some regular prices if you would normally go a couple regular car. And then it will come bulletproof. My dumbass was wrong for that. So then how much does it go for then if you used to get it? Right now, how much does the Tesla truck go for? I'm trying to see.
What you think of the aesthetics. Also, shout out to Ridge for sponsoring this video and providing this Cybertruck that I've been testing for the past couple weeks until I got mine. You guys might have already seen, but I've actually joined Ridge's board. I am a chief creative partner with Ridge. And we're working on we're cooking up some pretty cool stuff that you guys are going to see in the next couple weeks and months and years, making real products. I'm excited about it. But hey, they got the Cybertruck here and we're able to get it out here. And they actually already make a bunch of really well-made.
They say it costs $60K though. The Tesla Cybertruck is bulletproof and faster than a 911 while towing a 911. And cost $60K. Yeah, you see? See, I knew it. I'm telling you, man. Will Cybertruck be rust-proof?
Solid products, very similar to the Cybertruck. The Ridge wallet you've seen, but also the key case. They have a pen. My personal favorite is the commuter backpack. I've been using this backpack traveling the past couple of weeks. And it basically holds everything exactly that I want and nothing more. I just did an international trip. It's got this nice little AirTags holder and a passport sleeve. It's great. And right now they're doing an 11-year anniversary sale. So if you go to ridge.com/mkbhd, you can jump in there and there's a ton of stuff that's, I think, 30% off.
Shout out MKBHD, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no more free promo though, you know what I'm saying? Thanks though. Appreciate that. Ain't no free promo for you. Hey, you too. Hey, we're gonna shut you down. We ain't playing. We ain't having nothing to play. We're gonna shut you down. You about to mess up my video. Folio. Alright. And I got new braids on too. You feel me? Got 8 braids. Real big boss. You know what I'm saying? I'm a star, man. I'm a legend. I'm back. You know what I'm saying? Big